Ron Hextall was swarmed by a pack of reporters Friday at Flyers skate zone in Voorhees, New Jersey, and had to clarify a statement he had previously made that the Flyers were certainly not going to reach out on a 7-year deal on good player. "I misspoke that day, you guys misunderstood me," Hextall said with a smile Friday. "I said we weren't going to go long-term with a good player. Maybe a great player we'd look at." Little did we know, Hextall was big game hunting and his trophy was a player we're all familiar with. The Flyers on Sunday righted a pass wrong and provided a jolt to both the now and future by signing James Van Riemsdyk to a 5-year, $35 million contract with no no-trade clause. We can praise Hextall for making a splash with Van Riemsdyk. Some doubted he had it in him, that he was too conservative in his building. He sent a loud and clear message otherwise. Van Riemsdyk returns to the Flyers for a second stint and this time, HES an even better fit. Enough with the Hextall acclaim. Let's break down what JVR brings and where he fits. What JVR brings: originally drafted by the Flyers with the number 2 overall pick in 2007, Van Riemsdyk returns to Philly a more polished player than he was when they traded him to Toronto on June 23, 2012. Van Riemsdyk brings size 6'3", 217, shooting and consistent scoring, all three areas the Flyers will certainly benefit from both in the immediate future and a few down the line. JVR, in SIXS with the Maple Leafs, blossomed into the 30-goal scorer many wanted him to be in Philadelphia. Last, Van Riemsdyk posted 36 goals and 54 points. In 4 of the past 5s, Van Riemsdyk has scored at least 27 goals and 54 points. The 29-year-old averaged 31 goals per an 82-game schedule during his time with Toronto. He was limited to 29 points in 40 games in 2015-16 because of injury. From a situational breakdown, Van Riemsdyk has a pretty balanced split between even strength and power play goals. Last, he finished second on Toronto in even strength goals 25 and PPE markers 11. With the Leafs, he averaged 15 goals and 7 PPGs. The consistency is there from a production standpoint. Another aspect that Van Riemsdyk brings, and perhaps the biggest, is a volume shooter, which the Flyers desperately need. Van Riemsdyk finished the 2017-18 with 248 shots, which ranked 23rd in the NHL, and has averaged 213 shots on goal in his 6 years in Toronto. But a closer look tells a better story. By looking at Van Riemsdyk's rate metrics, we can see he the puck often. Last, he had 10.1 shots per 60 minutes at 5-on-5. In fact, HES always excelled in that category. Throughout his career, Van Riemsdyk has averaged 9.63 shots per 60 minutes at 5-on-5. Maybe Van Riemsdyk would have developed into this player had the Flyers never soured on him after threes. Hindsight is 2020, and we know the Flyers lost that trade badly. Looking back, the Flyers misused Van Riemsdyk at times and gave up on him too quickly. That was a common theme in the previous business model, not knowing what they had. For me, I got a big opportunity to expand my role in Toronto, Van Riemsdyk said. It was just a different situation with the team when I got in there. Playing more of a prominent role on a power play, play more minutes. I've been able to expand my game in that way. How he fits: signing Van Riemsdyk adds genuine intrigue to the Flyers forward group as they now finally have legitimate NHL forward depth with 7 proven top 6 forwards. Van Riemsdyk slots in with Sean Couturier, Claude Giroux, Nolan Patrick, Travis Konechny, Jakub Voracek and Wayne Simmons. Oskar Lindblom fits perfectly on the third line too. Hextall said Sunday the Flyers will fill their third-line center vacancy from within and open the door for Giroux to potentially move back to center for a prospect to graduate to the NHL. Still, JVR gives the Flyers scoring depth. Depending on where head coach Dave Hextall pencils players, and one of Van Riemsdyk, Simmons, Voracek or Konechny will be on the third line. Where the fit will get interesting will be on the power play. Van Riemsdyk played a similar role with the Leafs that Simmons plays for the Flyers. But the Flyers' second PP unit has stunk. Now the Flyers can spread the love and see how the chemistry shakes out. We can put out 2 really good units, Hextall said. It gives us another left shot, which we needed. We've got Patrick, we've got Konechny. We've got the 2 young defensemen. We feel pretty comfortable that our power play has taken a step here. Some may argue Van Riemsdyk pushes Simmons out of a prominent role with the Flyers, but that's misguided. In today's game, you need depth on all 4 lines. The Flyers finally have it. We can disagree on the term or the price, but JVR fills an immediate need. The Flyers have been largely quiet under the Hextall administration. That changed Sunday, and changed in a big way. Is it October yet? More on the Flyers quiet no more. Hextall makes a statement with JVR. JVR move rights are past wrong, boosts present, brightens future. 5 observations from Flyers development camp. Emotional Hextall. Flyers blown away by Humboldt's Survivor Strashnitsky. What's holding Frost back? Part of Flyers teaching methods at development camp. Voorhees, NJ, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons weren't the only recruiters in town. Claude Giroux and Jakub Voracek knew how to make a sales pitch for Philly, too. They were the ones to help Ron Hextall lock up James Van Riemsdyk, who signed a 5-year contract Sunday to rejoin the Flyers. I heard from G and I talked to Jake Voracek, Van Riemsdyk said via conference call. It was good. I did my homework in the situation to talk to guys that were still there, some guys that maybe are not there anymore, but that were there recently, just to get a feel of where things are at. I talked to both those guys and just picked their brain about some stuff. They were great about being open and available to help me through my process of getting to the point to make a decision. That was really helpful. Okay, so Giroux and Voracek probably didn't have it as hard as Embiid and Simmons did, trying to pull off the ultimate haul. LeBron James, who ended up picking the Lakers Sunday night. See story. That's because, in many ways, Giroux and Voracek were likely giving Van Riemsdyk a simple refresher. JVR was drafted by the Flyers as the number 2 overall pick in 2007. He played his first 3 NHLs with the Orange and Black, helping lead them to the 2010 Stanley Cup Final his rookie. Overall, Van Riemsdyk won 5 playoff series with the Flyers, who ironically haven't done so once since he was traded to the Maple Leafs. It certainly is an eye-opening experience the first time you go through something like that, getting traded, Van Riemsdyk said. You're a little naive where you think it's going to be all roses and thinking you're going to be in one place your whole career and hope you win championships. There was definitely a sense of that, wanting to come back and be a part of the group that's there and hope he did great things with that. The familiarity with Philadelphia and the Flyers culture were major draws for Van Riemsdyk, who told the NHL Network that 10 to 12 teams reached out to him. Knowing what the organization is all about, Van Riemsdyk said. Just remembering my time previously, how they obviously want to win and they're willing to put the resources into that. That passion and commitment to that was a big thing for me. He's now in a position to make new memories with the Flyers. What was his favorite before the trade? The playoff run my first year there, he said. Just how special that was and how jacked the city was. Hope again we get a chance to do something like that in the future here. More on the Flyers. Voorhees, NJ, Ron Hextall called it a fit all around. For Hextall to pull such a trigger in NHL free agency, it had to make almost perfect sense. Our philosophy 4 years ago was more to get our cap in order and gather young assets, and we've kind of been through that process now, the Flyers general manager said Sunday. It's coming to fruition in terms of guys we have on our team, and when we can add somewhere to strengthen our team, we want to do it and we'll continue to try and do it. On Sunday, they did it unlike how they've ever done it under Hextall's watch by signing a big-time free agent, James Van Riemsdyk, a 36-goal scorer, to a 5-year deal reportedly worth $35 million. See story. Hextall said it was merely about getting better, but the Flyers are in position to take the next step, and can now do so in this manner. With $21.7 million in cap space, according to CapFriendly.com, and a need for a shoot-first goal scorer along the wing, Hextall was able and ready to act. The term we could live with, we can manage our way around the salary cap, Hextall said. We've looked up, down and all around at different projections for the next few years and we felt comfortable with the term and with the player. We know the person. People inside this organization, obviously it helps. Were pretty comfortable with the start and the finish of the deal. If he was 3 or 4 years older, it'd be a little different. But we're very comfortable with this age group. He's a fit athlete, he's got good size, and he takes care of himself. We don't have concerns about the term. Van Riemsdyk, now 29 years old, was drafted by the Flyers at number 2 overall in 2007. In threes from ages 20 to 22, he never scored more than 21 goals. After being traded to the Maple Leafs, he scored 27 or more 4 times with his 36 markers last setting a career high. I've gotten some more experience. The real big opportunity to expand my role I got in Toronto just because it was a different situation with the team when I had gotten there, Van Riemsdyk said Sunday via conference call. So I got a chance to do some different things, play more of a prominent role on a power play, play some more minutes, stuff like that. I think I've been able to really expand my game in that sort of way, which has been great. Overall, style-wise, I think him still very similar. I think him still a cerebral type of player that can skate well, good offensive instincts and can make the smart plays in all three zones. So while the Flyers got their fit all around, there are still some holes left to be filled, shoring up the penalty kill, help on the back end and depth at center. The team's top six looks picturesque with these 7 options: Van Riemsdyk, Claude Giroux, Sean Couturier, Jakub Voracek, Nolan Patrick, Travis Konechny and Wayne Simmons. However, things fall off a bit in the bottom 6. Hextall had previously mentioned the desire to add a third-line pivot, but nothing happened Sunday and he doesn't foresee anything changing. He said the team decided to move on from unrestricted free agent Valtteri Filppula, while centers Tyler Bozak Blues and Paul Stastny Golden Knights both landed 3-year deals. The term, we just weren't willing to go the type of term, Hextall said. We had a guy that we were in on, he's gone elsewhere. That's pretty much where we're at and we're not willing to commit on term for someone that is maybe not an upgrade from the guys that we have in-house. The GM cited Jordan Wheel and Scott Lawton as those in-house candidates. He also brought up the option of Giroux moving back to center, which would bolster the team down the middle but hurt it on the wing and possibly take away minutes elsewhere. Hextall didn't sound overly concerned. After all, he just plugged the second biggest free agent on the market into his process. We think we got better for today, he said. We didn't give any assets up. We feel like we got a guy who's going to score hopefully 30 goals for us. That's a lot of goals over the course of a year. So we're excited about it. More on the Flyers.